What impossible situation do you often fantasize about? That I wake up as a 16-year-old me with the knowledge of current me. Not having to work but still having an income to take care of everything. Having time control abilities. Winning the lottery. Impossible because I have never bought a ticket. Post-apocalyptic scenarios where I'm somehow still alive, and what I would do. Being able to eat all the food without becoming morbidly obese and dying. I'm on my third imaginary pulled pork right now. Having a limited ability to revert time. Can only go back 12 hours at a time, and once the ability is used you need to wait at least the amount of time you rewound before you can do it again. Basically, you can't chain leap backwards ad infinitum. You could essentially restart the same 12 hours over and over, but once you have let time progress more than 12 hours, that moment will be out of your reach forever. I think about how many times I would loop the same 12 hours before letting time progress, what I would use that extra time for, how I would perhaps slowly turn cold and distant from those around me, seeing them merely as automatons, doomed to repeat the same mannerisms over and over, before I let time naturally run its course again. There are things that can be progressed in these repeated hours and things that cannot. I could read part of a book, for example, and then continue where I left off when I rewind again, but I wouldn't be able to continue playing a game or travel overseas etc. because any progress I make towards goals that take longer than 12 hours get wiped the instant I rewind. I would be a lonely observer of a day's many possibilities and potential outcomes, only to settle for one that's good enough once the repetitiveness gets stale. Would I turn into a sociopath? Commit heinous acts because I can just rewind anyway? I'm honestly not sure. I'd like to think not, but it seems like a very possible outcome. Okay, maybe I can get a bit carried away sometimes. Getting out from under my career, been in it for almost 30 and have 15 until I can draw, and opening my own ice cream shop. I have a few. A world where all the people have vanished, suddenly having the powers of a god and being able to alter reality with a thought, winning the lottery. Edit, a word. Winning an argument with an asshole and then everyone proceeding to clap while the asshat does the walk of shame. Getting married to the love of my life and having a nice, stable, well-paying job I'm happy with. Life doesn't get easier after you do these things, and all of your problems won't go away. For a long time I never thought I would get married. I was a single mother to 2 young girls and decided to focus on them and my career after leaving an abusive relationship for the last time. 2 years later I met, on Twitter, by complete coincidence, and married, 7 months after meeting, my best friend, who adopted my girls and we had another kiddo of our own. It's hard to remember that not all that long ago I was committed to being single and wondering why everyone else got to be happy and married and thinking it was just never going to happen for me. Being married to the love of your life comes with challenges. People are not perfect, but our commitment to one another pulls us through the rough life stuff. I spent the first year of our marriage thinking it was going to be a fairy tale, but instead I got a lot of hard work. All that to say, as cliché as it sounds, these things happen when you least expect them. Please don't wish your life away or pine for something you don't currently have. Listen to an older lady when she says you should try and love the season of life that you're in. Even when it seems horrible. You're here. That's the miracle. Big hugs, mon ami. Edited to add, obligatory thanks for the gold and silver, and my inbox is a bit overwhelmed but I wish I could hug all of you who are struggling. I never had a support system growing up, but you have us, and Tinder. Having my life together and not simultaneously failing at everything. Having superpowers. But like Avatar, it would suck if I had a pointless superpower. Dying and having your mind be merged with someone else's so a part of you lives within them. They will know everything about you and never make the same mistakes you made, and at the same time, you will be seeing through someone else's eyes. I love the idea of it. Having a job I don't hate and having psychic powers. I'm 30. Being a Pokémon trainer. Packing a bag, getting into my car, and driving away to some random city or town and just starting over. Immortality and being my video game characters. I am not even a child anymore. Being able to send my consciousness back to myself in the past, with everything I know now. I'd do so many things differently, avoiding the mistakes, having the experiences I never had, etc. That my car had Mad Max-like weaponry and I was licensed to crush divers who ignore road rules. being loved and cared for by someone who has genuine feelings for me. The day when money is not just a stressful conversation. Edit, when my dog living a human lifespan instead of a 12-year one. Curling with Keanu Reeves. Being a fourth member in the Harry Potter trio. Having a relationship with anyone I'm interested in. Feeling totally secure about who I am as a person and not giving any fucks about what other people think. Me and Alexandra Daddario. Pooping in my dreams and not pooping the bed in real life. Edit, LMAO, thanks for the silver. Ah, so you're a sleep doocer, too, huh? Yep, me. Oh, well, I've been splatting sheets since I was out of diapers. Ya see, I have very startling dreams, and my bowels always have a hot log on deck ready to flume. I've loafed beds all over the country and I don't think I'm gonna stop anytime soon. My dreams have really catered to my pillow ploppin', too. Every night, I'll start having a nice, cool, sweet-ass dream where maybe I'm running super fast, like I'm talking each stride covers like 50 feet and I'm knocking ladies out of the way as I glide through the city, and when I jump, I'm hopping over building effortlessly and zooming from city to city, and my hair is long and loose and wild and free. Free as a bird now. I'm flying and gliding and the sun is kissing my face and there's no greater feeling in the world. Then boing, a hot goose honks right in my face and startles me. I dump the bed out of shock. It's not entirely unpleasant, of course, as you know. When you lay a real squisher, that warm squirt kinda feels comfortable. In fact, a steaming fudger comforts me into some sort of super sleep where my dreams kick it up a notch. I'm talking I got celebrity cameos with talking lines. And the production value and set pieces? Mwah, love it. That brown, sometimes very yellow, money buys the finest of dreams. So, I'd say I'm pretty lucky to Hershey squirt myself every night. But, yeah, we gotta talk about the dookie elephant in the room. So, here's the question. Do you clean that butt mud up after a warm dream? For me, no, not at all. Of course not. I'm just gonna be night deucin' the next day. Why bother cleaning up a good thing? Look, I'm not eating 2 jars of Newman's Own spaghetti sauce with a cream corn chaser to just clean up that chocolate eruption the next day. I cherish each splat, squirt, and squish. Even when I'm rocket out a solid rod clean across the room, I don't clean it up because my dreams are all the better for it. Being a professional musician, the odds are so low I'm good but not that good. Being happy. I've talked about this before, but I often think about how the world would be if humans had big puffy tails like squirrels because I find it hilarious. I could see people styling their tails to stand out, teenagers rebelling against their parents by dyeing their tails some crazy color. It's not a phase, mom. Tabloids would be reporting things like Miley Cyrus shaves off her tail. Exclusive photos inside, people on dating apps and websites would be listing their tail length as a new stat like they do now with height. I don't know, I just think it's funny to think about a world like that, and it amuses me to think about it when I'm bored. An absolutely absurd, disgusting amount of money. Getting laid and not having Ed. Post-game interview after I hit a home run to win the World Series. I often fantasize about being in a loving relationship. Taking a vacation back in time to the 1980s. I just think it would be so fun to experience the furniture, shopping malls, arcades. Silly stuff, I guess, but I think it would be a hoot. Being able to time travel and going back and preventing awful things from happening. Being filthy rich and powerful. Making a comment about being trans without getting downvoted to hell lol. Paying off my debt and living a free life where I find my passion. Dramatically quitting my job. I'm not going anywhere. Being with my what-if guy. We've always had a crazy electric connection and could have been so great together, but we just never got the timing right. I'm married, he's with someone, and we're both reasonably happy and happy for each other. I feel so guilty for how often my mind wanders to what my life would be like if I was with him, but I think what could have been will be an unanswered question that we'll both think about for the rest of our lives. Suddenly being able to play an instrument really well. Having to not exist anymore. I dream of becoming some sort of non-corporeal entity. I'd still exist by some definition, able to have thoughts and emotions, but more in a peaceful afterlife type of state that I don't believe in, or like something out of Star Trek. I wouldn't have any needs for social contact or mental stimulation. I'd keep my memories, but I'd also like the world to go on as if everyone forgot me, so that my disappearance wouldn't hurt anyone. That my cancer was a misdiagnosis and I'll get to grow old. Thinking of a smart comment in the argument not after. Getting back together with my ex. Being Matt Murdock and just swinging my huge dick around all day. Getting into a fight and somehow kicking ass like in some kind of kung fu film, despite being built like a twig and having no training in any martial arts. At 45 years old, it seems a bit too late for me. It was the first time in my life that I was giving all my strength, all my hopes, all my efforts into a relationship. I believed in it, in us, from the core of my soul. He died just a few meters away from me. Cancer sure is a nasty slut. It feels like someone not only ripped my heart out, but also burned to a crisp the place where my heart should be. It feels like it cannot heal anymore. I feel charred inside. I do thank you for your encouraging words, I know you mean well, but I feel so hollow that they just echo into nothing.